Okay, it looks like we are live and we've got quite a few people in here already, and it looks like Brett has just joined in. I was just going to try and hook him up and make sure that he was okay. Brett, I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. While we're waiting for Brett, everybody who's in here, please feel free to give us a 1 to make sure that we can actually hear you. We want to make sure that, helps if you can hear us. So looks like Renaud and John and Richard and Richard again and Ralph. All right, excellent. So people can definitely hear me at least. And I'm seeing there's Brett. Now I see him. Let's see if we can hear him. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Ray. What's up, buddy?
There we go. Excellent. I after all these years of doing webinars, I still never trust them to actually work every time I do them. So I always get nervous. I'm like, okay, is this other person going to get on? When I'm doing it myself, okay, all right, I can figure it out. But then when we have to deal with other people, you never know, gets a little scary. So John says he is from Gloucester, UK. And I think, John, you were on last time and I said that I'm from Gloucester, Rhode Island. So except we don't have a U. We still have the CES, but no U in our Gloucester. So Massachusetts has the U, but no CES. So there you go. Mark is here. Ron is here. Ray is here. Another Ray. Ron Williams from Montreal. Excellent. So this is good. Well, guys, I'm really, really excited about this today because, as I've said, and by the way, I apologize for some of my crude language in the emails that I've been sending out lately. Brett, I've been telling people for the last couple of days to not let YouTube screw them anymore. And, so I apologize if that language is a bit much for some people because it's a bit much for me, but I felt it was appropriate anyway. I wanted to kind of shock the system a little because really that's, I say that, I say they're trying to screw us and to an extent that's kind of true. But in reality, what they're doing is they're trying not to get themselves screwed anymore is what they're really doing is a more of a self-preservation deal, which of course hurts us as marketers. They want traffic to drive to them. They don't want to just be somebody's free hosting service, which is kind of what most people are these days. And so they've put all that stuff to make sure that people watch other YouTube videos, go back to YouTube and that they're not wasting resources just for people to put videos on their website. So Brett, what's your opinion on that before we get into the whole deal here?
Yeah, I think that's really what it is. Like people talk about YouTube being free, but it's really not. I mean, they make you pay by allowing them to put these links on their browser, on their player and stuff. So they kind of like, that's the trade-off. It's like they'll give you the player and they'll give you the videos thing, but you agree to accept the fact that they're going to take some of your site visitors.
Absolutely. And in the past, it wasn't a big deal. It was, there was a little ghosted YouTube logo in the corner. And, if you had your watermark on, then you could click that and subscribe, things like that. But now, of course, if you've used it lately, and I can even, let me pull up here. I'll pull up my screen for a second here, and we'll kind of talk about what we mean by all this. If I can find the right screen, there we go. So what we mean by all of this is, and let me know if you guys can see that. You should be able to see it, hopefully. And I'll double check here to make sure. Yes. Okay. So this is actually videos, but I'm going to switch over here to just a random page on my site. And you can see here, we've got a video. Now you'll notice here it's paused, but look what we have on here. We've got video, 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 video. So all of this information here, that is specifically for helping to sell whatever product this was, some sort of business. I don't even know what product that was. Oh, online directories. That's what that one was. Which oddly enough, we did a live webinar on. So you can see, look at all the stuff on here. This is a click back to YouTube. 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 This is a YouTube button here. This is a YouTube share button. This is the channel information here, which gives you the option to subscribe, but also clicks back to YouTube. So all of these things cause two problems. One, a buttload of distractions that take away from the point of the video itself. And of course, links that go back to YouTube and drive your traffic away from your sales page, which, if you're just sharing a cat video, that's, whatever. But when you've got a product you're trying to sell, or if you're a business and you're trying to attract, local customers, that's a real problem, driving people away. And Brett, you look like you're itching to say something there.
Yeah, you know, there's actually a third. You mentioned the two big problems about, you know, linking back and stuff, but there's actually a third problem, a really big problem with that. That looks unprofessional.
Yes.
It looks amateurish. And if you look like if you look like an amateur, you're not going to earn people's trust enough to get the sale.
Absolutely. And of course, you know, we're showing all these, but let's go to the end of the video here. And hopefully we are at the end. Let's make sure. Looks like 2 more seconds here. Look what happens at the end of the video. Boop. There we go. We got even more. Now, there's a couple of things to understand here, because I had a few people that were confused by this, because they said, well, you know, you can go in and you can put rel equals 0 and that removes the related videos. It used to. It doesn't anymore. In the old days, if you took the YouTube code and you put rel equals 0, it would remove all the related videos. This would not happen at the end. Nowadays, if you do that, if you put rel equals 0, which, by the way, I have on this one, because you'll notice all of these videos here are my videos. So if you put rel equals 0, you're still going to get the videos linking back to YouTube, but they're going to be your videos instead of just whatever YouTube chose to put on there. So rel equals 0 does still work, but it doesn't remove the related videos. They're still here. It just happens to be when you put 0 that it's your videos and not just anybody's videos. Still a distraction, still a problem, still going to take clicks away, because we want people clicking this. This is what we want people clicking, is this big blue button here, because that's what makes us money. Them clicking these, probably not going to make us money, at least not right now. So Sean says the screen is blurry. Is there a way to clean it up? Sean, it's probably an internet connection. You may want to either try either waiting a few seconds or maybe logging out and logging back in, because if you've just got a bad internet connection for whatever reason, that's what it does to make sure that you can still see it. So that's probably the issue there. So, but the bottom line is, again, now we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different buttons on here that are covering up your information or clicking back to YouTube. That is a major, major problem. And it happens every single time. So if we're watching this video and we hit pause in the middle of it, it's going to bring those up every single time and distract from your videos. That's a problem. And that's why we are so excited about Brett's product, because so many people have contacted me and said, how do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of this? And there've been a couple of solutions that have come out to try and deal with this, but and they've been, you know, they've been okay. They've definitely helped, but here's the problem that most of them had. They were still using YouTube's video. So in other words, you were uploading to YouTube and then you were putting the YouTube video into a player. And what that would do is they would mask this by putting a thumbnail covering this stuff. It was still there. They were putting a mask on it to cover it. Again, it still didn't quite look very professional, because it was mostly trickery to kind of block what YouTube was doing. And it didn't allow you to do some of the cool things that you want to do with it, which drive more sales rather than driving sales away. And of course, Brett, we know about this issue too. The other major issue with using YouTube is, let's say this is a client. Let's pretend this is John the Plumber's website here, and you're managing it. And you've got this video on YouTube, and some competitor comes along and goes, oh, this is stolen content, and flags that video. Guess what happens? That video gets pulled by YouTube, and now your client's website that they're paying you to have a video on has nothing but a big black "this video was removed" box in the middle of the page. So on top of the player issues that we talk about there, you've now got the issue of, if YouTube bans your video or, heaven forbid, shuts down your entire account, you're really screwed now. You're giving them way too much power.
I actually met a guy in Portugal at this last Portugal event. And he had 160,000 followers or something like that on his channel. And he got his channel suspended. So I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. Like, what did you do? Like, why did you get it suspended? He goes, I have no idea. I was like, what do you mean you have no idea? He goes, they didn't tell me. They just took it away. And they didn't even tell me what I did.
Yeah, and that's the same for me. And actually, I know what happened with mine. Mine was suspended for 6 months with tens of thousands of I had worked really hard to continuously grow this channel. And what happened was, and it happened to about 4 or 5 different people on the exact same day. I remember Han Fan contacted me that day and said, "Oh, you never guess what happened." And I said, "Oh yeah, I bet you I can guess what happened." We had somebody come along and we were all selling certain products, and somebody came along and started flagging every other video that did a review about that product and flagging other videos on there. And YouTube just knee-jerk reaction, just boop, just shut them down. Shut down all those accounts. So there was like 4 or 5 of us on that one day where they just shut down our accounts and suspended them because somebody went around flagging these videos. And there was nothing wrong with the videos. And I'd had that done to me before. You know, there was other times where people flagged it and my account got suspended and I lost my mind and I contacted YouTube and 5 minutes later it was fixed. Well, this time they didn't. They just chose not to fix it this time. And I had to wait 6 months before I had full control of that account again. And, you know, the sad part is I'd been working on that account, working on that account. Now I couldn't work on it. So it's been 6 months. And guess what? I haven't really worked on since I got it back because of all that lost time. I haven't put a lot of effort into that anymore. So they have a lot of control, and it's something that we don't really want them to have because they can do those kinds of things. And that's why we're here today to talk about this. In fact, I should be shutting my mouth. Brett, why don't you tell us your impetus for putting together Viddies and why this is such an important tool?
Yeah, a lot of times people ask me all the time. They'll say to me, "Brett, where do you get your product ideas from? You know, where do your product ideas come from?" And I tell them, I was like, for me, product ideas are the easiest thing in the world. I mean, a lot of times in this space, I'm in the MMO space, make money online space and stuff. And a lot of times, let's be honest, let's get it out there. A lot of times products in this space are made to sell products. They're made just for the purpose of selling. Like somebody comes up with an idea and says, "Oh, gee, I bet you we could sell this. Let's make a product," right? And that's exactly what they are. But I don't actually do that. And I'm not putting anybody down, so I'm not going to say anything. But that's not how I do it. What I do is I run my business. And then when I have a problem, I write a software to solve my problem. And that's exactly where Viddies came from. I was doing squeeze pages, was driving traffic to squeeze pages for list building. I had reviews and bonuses that I was doing in order to hope to get an affiliate commission. And I was selling products. I had sales pages. And I thought initially, my biggest issue, honestly, personally, was I thought that those related videos and stuff looked unprofessional. Yep. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, I look very unprofessional. You know, I got these other videos all over my player and stuff when I'm trying to sell somebody a product. And then I realized that people were actually clicking those links. And then I was like, oh, Jesus, not only do I look bad, I'm also losing my traffic. You know what I mean? I was like, this is twice as bad than I thought it was. So I started looking for solutions, you know, and my first knee-jerk reaction isn't to go create a software because it takes months and months and months to write a software, especially something like Viddies. I mean, it took me, you know, hundreds of hours of coding time. So that wasn't my initial reaction. My initial reaction was to go and look for a solution myself, look for another video hosting platform outside of YouTube. And I found a couple. I found a couple that had some really good features, things that I really wanted. I was like, oh my God, these are perfect. And then I saw the prices of them. And I was like, you know what? This is pretty expensive. I mean, I was looking at one that was going to cost me a couple $100 per month just to host my existing videos. And I was like, you know, this is pretty darn expensive here, you know? And I was like, you know what? If I build a solution for myself, I will also have a solution for other people as well. So it's a win-win situation. That's exactly where Viddies came from. I built it initially to solve my problem, and it did. I used it on sales pages. I used it on bonus pages. I had other people, other vendors use it on their pages. It worked great, and I said, okay, cool. I solved my problem. Now I can release it out to the world and solve the problem for everybody else too.
Love it. And you know, the cool thing about this is not only did you solve that problem, but there's actually another problem. And I know many of you in here are going to, you know, this will go in one ear and out the other because it doesn't apply to you, but it applies to me. So I'm going to talk about it. And maybe it'll apply to a couple of you is when we're selling other people's products. So for instance, when I'm selling one of your products, Brett, I want to have a sales video or a demo video that I put on my bonus page so that I can say, hey, this product's great. By the way, check out the official bonus down or the official demo down below. And the problem is, if it's YouTube, we run into that same issue again of the traffic. But if they put it on, let's say, you know, they go and they put it on to Vimeo, which a lot of people do. 90% of the time, there's no way to grab that video and put it on there to show people the demo, because you have to have, if it's on their private Vimeo account, it doesn't have the embed link, and you can't get it. And, you know, it's just such a pain in the neck. But now with this product here, not only do we solve all those other YouTube problems, but you as a vendor can say, here's the embed code for the video with a player already on it. Boop, there you go. And we can embed it on there without having to deal with all those other issues with YouTube or trying to figure out how to get the Vimeo video. And then we're contacting people, hey, you got it on Vimeo, I need a copy of, you know how it goes. So this is a big help in that regard as well. And for local businesses, like I said, most of us here, I know, deal with local businesses. The last thing you want is the phone call going, why does that video player look so terrible? Or why does it show that my account was suspended? You know, where's my video? I'm paying to have a nice video on there. So this is going to solve a lot of those issues. And now, Brett, I know people are going to ask questions here. And by the way, if you've got questions, start getting them ready, queue them up, start putting them in there, because we don't want to keep you guys on here all day. We want to answer all your questions and make sure that everybody understands things. But I wanted to clarify how it works, because I have gotten a lot of questions from people, you know, with they ask different things. One of the big questions that I have is, well, am I uploading it to YouTube and using the YouTube link? How does that work? Do you want to explain to them exactly how Viddies works in comparison to other players so they understand the actual process?
Yeah, Viddies has nothing to do with YouTube. Viddies, the whole idea was to get rid of YouTube. And that's a lot of like you had said about some of these other solutions. And, you know, about putting a mask over YouTube and still using YouTube and stuff like that. Ooh. And I mean, I don't, we're adults.
Brett froze up on it. There you go.
Are you there?
You froze up for a second. Yeah, you froze up for a second.
Okay. So yeah, Viddies absolutely has nothing to do with YouTube at all. It's not even related to YouTube. You had said about some of these other like trying solutions. They tried to like put a mask over YouTube and stuff like that. Let's be honest, that's a cheap solution. That's putting lipstick on an ugly girl. Okay, it's not going to solve the problem. Okay, so when I created Viddies, I didn't want to do one of those generic solutions. I actually built Viddies from the ground up as a video hosting platform. So yes, you upload your videos to Viddies itself. You're not using YouTube at all.
And Sean actually just brought up a great question that I definitely want to hit right away, because I don't want people getting this wrong, because this happened a while ago where somebody came out with a video player, and the campaign that this person came up with was, you know, YouTube is dead and YouTube this and YouTube sucks. And, you know, I want everyone to understand that we're not saying that YouTube sucks. We're not saying you shouldn't use YouTube. What we're saying is when you embed your video on your own website, you don't want to use the YouTube embedded player because of some of those issues. And so Sean asks here, he says, even with this product taking care of the problem with embedded videos, it still exists on YouTube. So if I rank a video on YouTube, the link to my page would be below the description. If someone clicks away from the YouTube version and not to the link to my site, I'm done. Am I correct? Not exactly, Sean. So the way it works is you're going to want to do both of these things. In most cases. Now, somebody asked me something earlier, and we'll get into that, but let's say you're giving away an ebook, okay? And, you know, your video talks about how great the ebook is and that they should download it. So you want to make sure that for the keyword in that ebook that you show up on page 1 of Google and that you show up on page 1 of YouTube. So put the video on YouTube, optimize the living crap out of it like you always did, get as much traffic as you can, because that YouTube video is going to have a link back to your website. Now, on your website, you might want to have the exact same video. Now, in my case here, personally, I like to make a slightly different video that says, hey, thanks for coming to the page, whereas the YouTube one wouldn't say thanks for coming to the page because they're not on the page yet. So I might do a slightly different one. But if you're going to put the exact same one, you would use the Viddies player so that you don't have people then leaving the page. You want, when people come to that page for that free ebook that you're giving away or whatever it is, you want only one thing in their mind and one action that they could take. And that action is to click that download button. And that's all you want to give them on that page whenever possible. So that's why you would use a third-party player such as Viddies to be able to do that. And with Viddies, it takes away all those other distractions. You know, like you said, it's not just lipstick on a pig. It actually fixes those issues. And so that's kind of the difference. So yeah, on YouTube, you're going to drive traffic back to that page using the YouTube video. Absolutely. We still love YouTube. We just don't like the new player.
Yeah, that's
maybe your opinion is different, Brett. I don't know.
No, no, people were saying that, and actually, people were asking me that same thing. They're like, "So what? You're saying YouTube is dead?" I'm like, "No, I'm not saying YouTube is dead, but YouTube is a tool. It's a social network, and you should use it as a social network to build a following, to get traffic, to get people to your site. But Viddies is not a social network. Viddies is a marketing video player. We put Viddies on your website where you don't want people leaving your squeeze page to go check out videos of cats. That's when you use Viddies. Yeah, so they're two different tools. YouTube isn't dead, and YouTube doesn't suck. It just sucks on your website.
Right.
I like to say,
broken the player.
I like to say a hammer doesn't suck just because I happen to need a screwdriver.
There you go. I love that. That's a great way to put it. And Billy's got a question. He said, and this is a really good one, and you guys are going to love this answer. So pay attention to this because this is actually really, really important. Billy asks, where is my video hosted? And I know you've got a good answer for this one, so I'm excited to hear you.
Well, there's actually two answers. There's actually two answers to that. So it depends. It depends on your account level, to be honest with you. So if you're a basic user, if you're a front-end user, your video is hosted on, it's hosted on a dedicated server that's somewhere in Utah, on a rack space somewhere.
By the way, I've driven by that location. So
okay, well, I actually have several of them in there. So somewhere there's a row of this is Brett's row out of 700 million probably. So now if that's where your video will be hosted if you're a front end user. Now if you're an enterprise user, the higher level, the upgraded level version, then your videos are actually hosted on Amazon's content delivery network. So they're actually hosted all over the world if they're on several different servers on an entire network of servers.
Yep. And the beauty of that, by the way, when we talk about that, is that content delivery network, that's the platform that the major sites host their stuff on. So these are super fast servers. We're talking as fast as YouTube or even faster in a lot of cases from what I've seen, because they're dedicated to that particular purpose. So for instance, if you've ever tried to put a video on, let's say, your own shared hosting site somewhere, and you've noticed that it takes 10 minutes for it to play, you understand the negatives of that. But when we're talking about these content delivery networks, they are built specifically for fast, instant access to lots and lots of people all at the same time. So that's what really makes that exciting.
Yeah, I actually lease space on it's the same network that Netflix uses for a lot of their content delivered to the US. So I actually lease space on that. I contacted them. I reached out to Amazon. I said, I want to lease space on this. They asked me if I would commit to a certain amount of bandwidth usage per month, which I pay for no matter what. Incidentally, it was 10 terabytes I committed to. 10 terabytes per month. I committed to that. They gave me a great price because of committing to such an amount, and it allows me to resell it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And John says, all right, and this is the question that Brett, you and I were kind of laughing about this exact question earlier, so you'll appreciate this one. He says, how do we know Viddies will be around in 2 years or 5 years?
I actually have an interesting answer for that. I have an interesting answer. The very first product I ever launched, okay, I was JVZoo product of the day. It was in the end of 2013. It was the very first product I ever launched. It was a product called Squeezematic.com. Now, I'm going to invite anybody that's here to go over to Squeezematic.com and see if the site's still up, see if you can still log in and create an account. It's the first software I launched in 2013. It is still updated. It's still running, and people are still building pages with it every day. Now, does that mean that if a meteorite hits my house tomorrow and I don't no longer exist, that I might stop doing updates? Yes, I will. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, I probably won't be doing any more updates after that. So can I 100% guarantee you that I will continue to do updates? Absolutely not. But has my track record shown that I will do it? Absolutely has.
Nice. And that's exactly what we want to hear. Billy wants to know, can he use his own CDN? And I believe I know the answer to that, but I'm going to default to you because I barely know what CDN means. So
CDN is Content Delivery Network. And no, you can't, because I don't have access to that to put my code on it and stuff. I mean, no, that's, if you want to use your own CDN, then honestly what you're saying is you want to build your own video hosting, in which case, quite frankly, if you have a content delivery network and it's as good as Amazon's, and then you don't need videos. To be honest with you, I'll be honest.
That makes sense. So Sean said, okay, so Sean's gonna asking again about the YouTube and the videos thing. So just to clarify, so what you would do is you would upload your video to YouTube just like normal for all that normal YouTube type stuff, ranking on page 1 and sharing on whatever web 2.0 sites, things like that. Then you would go into your Viddies account, you upload that same video directly to the Viddies account, your Viddies account, and you create your player there to put on your website. So you're uploading it 2 times. You're uploading it to YouTube for that stuff. You're uploading it to Viddies for the secure, your website, your player version of that. And says, can I play videos from storage on S3? No, but you can take the stuff you have on S3 and you can upload it to Viddies and do the same thing. So, and quite honestly, you'll probably be faster than S3 if you're using the CDN. So if you've got the upgraded version. Because S3 is pretty fast, but not super fast, even though they try to tell you it is. So,
well, the problem with S3 is the same thing with anything with which is the same thing with anything. Is S3 is one server in one place, where a content delivery network is basically puts copies of your stuff throughout the world. So no matter where the people are, they get a quick version of it.
Which is exactly what YouTube does. When you upload a video to YouTube, it's actually then stringed along to servers all over the planet, so that everywhere that you're in India, you're watching your YouTube video from a server in India. If somebody's in China, they're watching it from a server in China. And it's the same type of thing. It just makes sure that you're getting it locally so that you're not waiting for, for instance, an S3, they've got US West, they've got US East. So if you're in China, you're going to be getting it from US West, although they probably have a Chinese version too, I'm not sure. And so it's going to be a little bit tougher to get that to play as quickly, if that makes sense. I mean, we're still talking about fairly quick, but not the same type of thing. So what is the minimum? This is from John, by the way. So what is the minimum monthly cost option to get my videos hosted on the Amazon systems? So if you if you're talking about just the front end, that's what is it right now at Brett? Still 37?
We're at 39.
39. So right now, $39 gets you the player and the ability to upload the videos. Now, if you're talking, John, specifically about just hosting on S3, it's tough to give you a price because it just depends on how much you use it, to be honest with you. So you might put it on there, and if you've only got a couple hundred people that watch it in a month, you might not pay anything on S3 because they charge pennies. And until you reach a threshold, they don't charge anything. But for the Viddies,
there's no monthly fee with Viddies.
Yeah, there's no monthly fee with Viddies. I just wanted to cover that in case he was just asking specifically about S3 because I wasn't quite sure. But yeah, there's no monthly fees with this. You're getting your space to put those videos on, and you're getting the player for that $137 price on the front, or $39 price now on the front end. And then when you get the upgrades, then it goes into the content delivery network and all that other stuff. So is Viddies responsive? Okay, as in mobile. Yes. Brett, you want to talk a little bit about that? Because it is a little bit different as far as the way that works.
Yeah, there's a code that you get to if you want to make your video mobile responsive. There's an additional code. So there's your embed code, and then there's one additional line of code, and you put that on your page as well. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Because some designers, I made Viddies for people that are advanced and people that are not advanced. So some of the advanced people might not want to use my mobile responsive code. They might want to make their own. So that way you could either choose to add it or not.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about that is if you were in the old days, let's say you wanted to self-host with S3, you actually had to make 2 different versions of your video in order to even do that. You had to upload the MP4 that would be for the desktop, and then you had to go create what's called a WebM video, which is web mobile video, and put that on, and it was a big fat pain in the neck. This is way easier than that, so it makes it much nicer. And in case, and Billy, I know you said is Viddies responsive, and I assume you meant just mobile, but the other thing I wanted to mention, because the first thing I thought of was responsive for playing the videos. And I got to tell you, Brett, I was blown away at how fast these videos are. There was literally, I opened up my page, I hit play, and it played. I didn't have to wait for buffering. Like, sometimes on YouTube, you see the little gray dots spinning around for a few seconds. I mean, there was none of that when on my page, at least, when I was looking at the videos. So it is very responsive in that regard, which I thought was pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Larry says, any way to upload to Viddies first and then upload to YouTube from Viddies to avoid the double upload? There's really not, Larry. It's just two completely separate things. So they're totally separate. There's no way to upload to Viddies and then have it go to YouTube or anything like that. It's two separate uploads. So if you got a slower IP, yeah, I know, believe me, I used to live out in the country and had the slowest internet on planet Earth. I literally moved just because of that. So
I do live in the country, and my cell phone is 3 times faster than my high-speed internet, supposedly, that I get from cable.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah, because my cell phone, when I lived in the middle of nowhere, my cell phone was 30 megabytes down, and my internet was supposed to be 5, and it was usually about 2.
Yeah, I pay where I live in the middle of nowhere. I pay $127 a month for 10 megs per second. It's the only thing available.
Wow. Yeah, that's no fun. No fun at all. So, all right. Let's see. Arlene, I'm thinking John might be asking about Viddies Enterprise. All right. Well, let me go back to you, John. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, John, if we're talking about the Enterprise version, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brett, it's either $49 a month for the Enterprise, or you can pay $297 a year. What is it? 47?
47 a month.
47.
Yeah, $297 a year or $397 one time.
Yeah, and while as an affiliate, I love the $397 one time. Brett probably will hate it, so stick with the 49 because.
Yeah, I like the 47 better.
47 even better, yeah. Because $397, that's gonna that'll squeeze him later on. So.
Well, the good thing about all my products is that they don't disappear after the launch. A lot of for me, the launch is the beginning, not the end, or
right.
not the whole thing.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, so after the launch, the only reason I could sell it at $397 during the launch is because after the launch, I'm going to continue selling this forever, and it will only be monthly. That'll be the only option.
Right. And so that's what, if anyone doesn't realize that, I want to let you kind of understand that when we do these launches, what we're doing is we're helping the vendor, at least when it's done the way it's kind of meant to be done, we're helping the vendor by being early adopters, getting them up and going with a product so they can sell it to the rest of the world for a heck of a lot more than they're charging you. That's kind of the way things usually go. So believe me, when you see these softwares for $37 and you think, wow, that's really cheap. Well, it's because you're essentially it's kind of like Kickstarter. You're their Kickstarter on this. And so that's why they can get it up and going and sell it to other people later at a higher price. So just remember that you're usually getting the best deal you're going to get. For instance, Instant Spokesperson, when some of you guys got in there and you're paying a monthly fee for some of those videos that are really low, I'm charging a lot more to the general public for those videos than you're getting them for. And it's the same type of thing. So let's see. Yes, John confirms he was asking about Enterprise. Larry, what is the limit on number of videos or traffic on the front end version? That's a good one. I like that question.
All accounts, by the way, get 10 gigabytes of data transfer. Okay, so you get 10 gigabytes per month of data transfer, which incidentally is enough for thousands of plays. You can make thousands of plays with that. The front end version, though, and the first OTO, so everything that's not the Enterprise, you have 10 simultaneous videos. So you can have up to 10 videos. If you delete one, you can add another one, but you cannot have 11 videos simultaneously up to 10. When you go to the Enterprise level, then it's unlimited. You can have unlimited videos.
Okay. Fantastic. Let's see, Dennis, how much? Oh, we just went over that. He was asking on the monthly. And of course, the monthly is $47, which by the way, that's a great price. I mean, if you're thinking that's, whoa, $47 a month, honestly, I mean, there are so many things that I pay way more for each month that this is a very small, good price for that. So we love that. So what are the OTOs? We just mentioned them. JC, the OTOs are the Pro version, which we'll talk about in a second here, and then the Enterprise, which gives you the unlimited. So that's when you're working with lots of videos and lots of different people and companies and whatever you're doing with that. So do you want to talk about the Pro version a little bit? Let them know what comes in the Pro.
Yeah, so the Pro version, it allows you to have the instant video pages with your own branding on it. We didn't really talk about the video pages that much, but Viddies does make video pages. It allows you to do that and have your own branding on it. It allows you to put the lower third links on there, so you can have lower third graphic links on there. And it also allows you to create the animated GIF. So if you actually go to the video sales page, you can see a really good demo of the animated GIFs as well.
Yeah, and it's cool. The animated GIFs, what it does is it allows you to have that looping 3 seconds of video playing when people first get there, but when they hit play, or when they hit, play with sound, it goes back to the beginning. And I don't know how many of you know about this, by the way. We've talked so much about what YouTube's done. There's another major issue that has been caused by Google Chrome and Safari, and I'm not even sure about Firefox. I don't know if Firefox has gotten in on this yet or not. They stop autoplay videos now. So in other words, in the old days, you'd go to a sales page and immediately Todd Gross would be talking to you. Well, now when you go there, Todd Gross can't talk to you right away anymore, because Chrome and Safari have said, you know what, we don't like these autoplay videos. So even if you say, hey, this is an autoplay video, they block it. They stop it. The actual web browser will stop the video from autoplaying now. And so you don't get that immediate interaction. You don't get that visual right away. You don't get that sound right away. But when you use the animated GIF version of this, when you get to the page, you see that animated, part of the video going. And so that you can see that, it draws your attention, and you say, oh, I want to hear what he's saying. And you hit the button, and then you can watch the video. Without that, you can still set it to autoplay, and you'll see part of the video running in the background. You won't hear any sound, and then you can still hit play. But the animated GIF lets you put what you want in there. So it's almost like a thumbnail, but moving. And that way it really gets people's attention right away, which I really thought was great. So anything to add to that one, Brett?
I know. And instantly, we actually tested. I did a lot of testing whether or not animated GIFs or auto-playing with mute, because that seems to be the way everybody goes, is autoplay with mute. And autoplay with mute doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, because people still have to click the play button. So what's the matter that it's auto-playing? So we actually did a lot of testing with that animated GIF autoplay with mute, and animated GIF does actually perform better, just because it grabs people's attention and it gets them to want to click that. But like, what is this? What's going on? And people's eyes are naturally drawn to animation.
Yep, absolutely. And so you can see here. Oh, look at this, Brett. I got 606 views already today on this one. That's kind of
cool. There's actually something here, and this is really cool. If you go ahead and click on the little graph thing there, you can see some stats. I know you said a lot of your guys are local marketers, right?
Yep.
On the far left-hand side, click on that graph there.
Boop. There we go.
So that actually map. I actually added that map there for local marketers. So that's a zoomable map. That's a Google map. So that way, if you're doing local marketing, you can actually show your clients exactly where people are viewing your videos, right down to the street. You can say, look, guys on this section of town are watching your videos. We need to change our targeting to that side of town. You can really, really, really get in on that.
So let's see, in my area here, who's this? It's probably me. Oh no, that's in Savannah. So that's way down here. But look at this. So we can see that this person right here, I can go hunt him down to Savannah and see, look, this is where this, I wonder if let's see, is this anybody who is on the call right now on somewhere near Chestnut Street and, is that Tetgen? Tietgen? So if you're in Chestnut and Tietgen, somewhere near Savannah, we literally just hunted you down there with the map feature.
Well, no, it's not for stalking people, okay? But I think that's a great tool for local marketers. So if you're doing local marketing, you can say, look, you can say to your customer, like, look, hey, you're right in your target zone. See, there's the views and stuff. And we actually use geolocating to do that.
And what's cool is, if you do door-to-door sales, now you know whose door to go knock on. And Larry asks, is the demographic on the front end, or is that just the upgrade?
No, that's for everybody. Those demographics for everybody. Actually, if you click more details, that's another cool feature as well that we added. That was one of the beta testers, one of the guys that used us for a launch, Simon and Luke McGuire. They used us for their launch. They actually asked for this. If you go up top there, you can see underneath it on the left-hand side, it says more details.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature as well. Now you can go ahead and click on that chart, yeah.
And so you can kind of say, oh, I see, okay. So that shows you where people watched until, and this is great because this is very similar to what YouTube does as well. So we know that, okay, people hit play, they start watching, and obviously a lot of people drop off right away. But look, people stayed on this one all the way through. So that's pretty good. That's, you know, that's what 50% watched 97% of the video. That's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, that's absolutely great. Yeah. And that was actually one of the testers said that. He's like, hey, that's a cool thing about using systems myself as well, is I actually listen to what people say and do updates, and you're actually buying from the developer. So when people have a suggestion for a new feature, I don't have to say, oh, I got to talk to the developers. I say, yeah, that's a great feature. I'll add it because I'm the guy that wrote it. You know.
Nice. Let's see, Larry. Oh, price of the Pro. Larry, price of the Pro was the $47 a month, $297 a year, or $397 one time. And price of the Enterprise, is that at $67 still?
No, you got that backwards. The Enterprise.
Sorry, yeah. Enterprise is $47, $297, $397. The Pro version is $67 still?
67, yeah.
67. So you get that for 67. And just so you know, with the Pro version, you get the GIF. You also get the clickable link on the player itself. And we'll show you that because I think that's one of the features that I think people will really like. And by the way, as we show you this, one question that I was asked a few times is, yes, if you've got the Pro version, you don't have to have a clickable lower third on there. You can turn it off and just have a minimal player as well, which is kind of cool. So if we click on this here, and does it show it here, or do I need to go to the other part? I think I have to go to the other part.
Yeah, you got to go to the edit.
So if we go to the edit area, you'll see this is the lower third here. You can see what I have there is see the official demo. So when you're watching my demo or my review of the program, you can click this see the official demo at any time by hovering over and clicking on that, and it'll take you to the sales page where you can see the actual demo. Okay, and so that's one of the things you can do there. Now you can see this is a GIF playing in the background here that keeps your attention. It's not a lot of attention because it's just the software, but you get the idea, and that's going to give you the animated GIF as a thumbnail, and then when you hit play, it's going to start the video at the beginning. Now, while we're on this page, I think let me blow this up a little bit because it's probably a little tough to see. But first of all, access launch bonuses. We all want to know where that is, and I believe you moved that to there, did you not? Because I don't think that was up here before.
I did. I moved it there because people weren't finding it. So I was like,
yeah, I had to help a couple of people get to it. So I thought that was cool. So here you can change the name. Okay, so you can call this whatever makes sense for you. This is so that you know what the video is. And then here you can either upload your thumbnail. So this can be a PNG or a JPEG, or we'll show the GIF in a minute. You can do the GIF instead. So I left the thumbnail off. I didn't put a thumbnail in here because I'm using the animated GIF, whatever you want to call it. Now down here, one of the cool things is a redirect. So let's say you've got your 30-second video. Somebody watches that 30-second video. After that 30 seconds, you can have them automatically be taken to another page. So that's fantastic for, let's say you've got a page that's just a review. That's all that's on that page. Get to the end of the review, boom, takes them to the sales page.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll use a credit card.
You can listen into Brett's conversation. So down here,
I probably make more than the doctor.
This is the lower third here, and let's see if we can.
Okay. You think they care about the $50? It's so frustrating. People constantly not making appointments.
Try to see if I can mute Brett because I don't know if he realizes he's not muted as he's arguing with the credit card person on there. But down here, this is where you put in that lower third. See the official demo. See the official demo. And again, here's the link.
I know. Actually, I'm on a conference call. Hang on. I want to get. Hang on.
Okay. Down here, you can choose whether or not to make your video public. Now, what this does is we kind of briefly talked about this, but not in detail. This is where you can create a YouTube-like video page. So, when you upload a video, you get the video on YouTube and you get the description. You can do the same thing here. You can see I've put a very short description, but there's a description in there. And you can also add a button to the page. So I've got Learn More, and the button links again to the same URL that's in these three places here. So all three of these will take you to the sales page. And down below here, You can use slides, and we'll talk about slides in a minute. This is a little bit different, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't used these a ton, so I'll definitely use Brett's expertise on that because I've only barely played with them on the videos I'm doing so far. Once you're done, all you have to do is hit Save Video Settings, and that'll save those in here. And you can see, like we said, I've got 670.
Oh, sorry about that, Ray.
That's okay.
I've been waiting to see this doctor for like 2 months, and I finally get a call.
The doctor? I thought you were fighting with a credit card company.
No. I was talking about my doctor. I've been waiting for 2 months to see this doctor. They don't like the fact that I'm a self-pay insurer, so
yeah, of course. Yeah, they don't know what to do with it.
I know. So I finally get the doctor's appointment right in the middle of the call. I was like, I got to get. If I don't answer this, I'll never get the appointment.
That's funny. So that's how that works there now. And Brett, while you were gone, I kind of showed them the actual edit page, and I said that we'd talk a little bit about the slides, which I'd use your expertise because I've only barely played with those at all, so I don't know a ton about them yet. I kind of get the idea, but I haven't really used them. So we'll talk about that. And of course, you can delete your video here. And in here, this is where you can actually adjust the actual player itself. So, and I apologize, I'm on Safari. On Google Chrome, it actually works a little differently. Here in Safari, you have to put in your own color codes. In Google Chrome, you can actually choose the color. It works with the little chiclet. You click the chiclet and you choose the color. For whatever reason, on my Safari, it doesn't show that. It only shows it on Chrome. But you can still put in whatever color you want in here. So like BB0000 is, I think that's the gray. And so you can change any of that there. So like,
I wasn't aware of that, Ray. I wish you would have told me that.
That's my fault. I meant to tell you that yesterday and I forgot.
I'll be honest, I'm not trying to play the blame game, but I'm actually using the HTML5 color picker, and Safari is not a compliant browser.
Yeah, I know. I
can fix that. I think I can actually fix that with a different color picker. So I'm glad you.
Most software on Safari, for whatever reason, the color picker never does on anything. So that's nothing new, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just like an anal guy, so that will drive me nuts all day. I'll be like, I got to take care of that now.
Yep. So literally on Chrome, there will just be a little color block here. You click the color block and choose the color you want. You can choose whether or not to autoplay the video, which, like I said, I've got turned off because I'm using the animated GIF as my thumbnail. So there's no reason to autoplay that. And then once you're done, and actually change your width here. I like to do 854. For whatever reason, that's just the default YouTube size, 854. So I always put that in there. Now, what's cool about this, Brett, and by the way, I love this. In so many softwares, you have to guess the width and height and do math and everything else. And I love the fact that in here, you just put in the width you want and it adjusts the height automatically. You don't even have to think about it. You don't know how many times I sit there and go, well, I need the player to be about 1100 width. And then you sit there and try to guess what the height is. And then it's got a black lines on the side. So you got to go back and change it. And, so that's really nice to be able to have that in there like that. Once you're done with that, you hit generate code, and then there is your code, just like YouTube. You paste that into your whatever website builder you're using. In my case, I mostly use Convertri. So I just put in an HTML block on the page, drop it in the block, and boom, we're done. Now you do have the CSS code here. This is what's going to make the video mobile responsive. So you'll want to add that in there as well. And that's pretty much all you have to do with this to get this up and running. So Brett, any secrets or anything you want to reveal? I will click on the homepage in a second so people can see that because I know we briefly talked about that. But feel free to throw in any 2 cents you have here.
The only thing that I think is important that might be worth suggesting, and again, I know a lot of you guys are local marketers, so I don't know how much they would want something like this. But if you actually go to the My Slides section, there's the ability to create those slides, which is pretty awesome. It allows you to put some really cool things right inside of your videos as well.
Yeah, so the slides, we'll just call this one test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I'm sure somebody has already put in 1, 2, 3. We'll hit create new, and I'll find that in there. There it is. We'll hit edit. Okay. And so basically this allows you to put in interactive elements onto the player. Is that the best way to put it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's basically, it's a simple drag and drop system. You just left click on it, drag it into the mouse. Now I think you have an Apple, so you don't have a left and right and middle button, do you?
Oh, well, I don't have a middle, but I've got the rest.
Okay.
So this is where you'd put in the product. So we'll call it product X.
Yeah, so that's actually a really cool feature right there. If you want, you can actually sell things right inside of your video. So you can have a PayPal buy button right inside of your video.
That's my actual PayPal email. So if any of you want to test it and send me money, feel free to try it. I guarantee it'll get to me. Product cost, let's see, we'll call it $47. So I guess we'll call it $7. And the return URL. So this is where you're going to send them afterwards. So I'm just going to put in google.com. So when somebody buys the product, they'll be sent to google.com. Obviously, this would be your login page or download page or whatever it is you want them to go to after they make the purchase. Currency is US dollars. Okay, image preview for whatever reason. Let's see, it said add PayPal. Oh, it's not working for some reason. That might be a Safari thing as well. For some reason,
let's look at the images. Did you find a bug in my system, Ray? Come on.
I hope not. Maybe. I don't know.
You might have. You might have. And that's actually a good thing if you did. I'm glad that if you found a bug, because I'm here and I'm the developer, so I will fix it. I hope you did find a bug.
Who knows what I did? It could be a Safari thing too. That's why whenever I do software, I usually use Chrome. But for whatever reason, I chose to use Safari this time because, you know.
No, that's good.
So you can add clip art here, and that'll still have a link. We're going to make the world's ugliest player here. Oops, I forgot to put the HTTP. We're going to make the world's ugliest player. Put in lots of crazy things on here.
Generally speaking, what you're going to want to put in the slides, like you're just putting things in randomly here, playing around. But generally, what you're going to want to
me, because this one's showing up with a question mark too, so that's definitely on my side here.
Oh yeah, that's definitely on you because I've got guys with slides right now, Ray. So there's something going on your end.
And I know it worked. It's either a Safari thing or some sort of caching thing on my end, because I know I put stuff in there yesterday playing around with it, and it worked. So
yeah, now you're making me look bad, Ray.
I can switch over to Chrome. Maybe that'll make a difference. But you guys get the idea. You can add these in here. And so the idea being is, for instance, with the PayPal, is they watch the video, they can click the PayPal button right then and there and go right to it. Now, some of you might go, well, wait a minute, who's going to do that? But I'm telling you, I actually ran a business, and Brett, you'll love this. I actually ran a business selling microphones for smartphones. So it was, in fact, I still sell them. I've got one sitting right over here in my eyesight right now that I use every day. And I used to sell them. And all I had was a YouTube video. And in the YouTube video, this is in the old days of YouTube when you could put links, you could put clickable links in the videos. So I had a video that gave a review of the microphone. And in the video, it just had a click here to buy now. And it clicked there and it went straight to PayPal. There was no website. There was no anything else. And people bought it. People bought this thing right from the video with nothing else, no other, websites or anything. And I would package them up and mail them out. And so it will work. And if you want to, this is great for if you've got, a lot of people like to do very simple pages with just a big video in the page and a button. And this will allow you to do that right there. You can just have a video right there on the page and sell stuff through there. So, let's see. Questions here. Nadine has a question, but it's about putting a GIF on a GMB page. I'm not sure what you mean there. I mean, I know Google My Business, obviously, but I'm not sure what you mean about the GIF on Google My Business. You should be able to upload GIFs. Let's see. Is the demographic data available on the front-end version? We answered that. Yes, it is. Will the enterprise? Oh, this is a good one. This one I wanted to put. So Brett, what Sean's asking is, if he was to buy Viddies today and a month from now go, you know what? I really need the enterprise version. Can he still get in?
Yes, absolutely, but not at the one-time price.
Okay.
Because I know people do that stuff for scarcity and stuff, and everybody thinks that it's fake scarcity. When I say that after the launch, I'm not going to sell this for a one-time price anyway. I mean, if you message me at 12:05 and say, Brett, I want to give you $397 right now so I can get that enterprise level, I'm going to say, I don't want your money. I 100% guarantee you I will do that.
All right. There you have it, folks. And there's only two people that I trust when they say that. That's Nick Mancuso and Brett Rattecki.
I remember it was about 2 years ago. A lady, she wanted to buy an OTO and upgrade, and I says to her, "Look, this is only a launch-only upgrade." I said that to everybody on the sales video and stuff. She messaged me. It was about 2 hours after the launch was over. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. She was overseas. It was in Australia, so it was afternoon for her. It was late my time. She goes, "Hey, Brad, I decided I want to pick that upgrade up." And I was like, "Sorry, the launch is over." She writes me back in my support desk. She goes, I bought 397 products and I never experienced anything like this. I was like, well, I'm sorry, but I don't lie. She goes, I'm going to tell everybody what kind of person you are. I was like, yes, tell everybody that I'm not a liar. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why this is bad. I didn't lie to you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's bad for her, but you know, sometimes you got to understand when people say something, that's the way it is. And I know, and I shouldn't say those are the only two people, because I know, for instance, my good friend Michael Bose is very tough on that too. And it's like, nope, this was the price that ended. That's it. And he's had people scream and yell at him, and it's like, hey, what you gonna do? You know? All right. Is there an option to make the play button smaller? That's a good question.
On the video player?
I think on the, yeah, I think what they're talking about is on the main player. Let's get out of here for a second. So go to main dashboard, my videos. I think they mean this giant play button here. I think they want to know if there's a smaller version of that, the white part.
Not really, no. I haven't had anybody else ask for that, to be honest with you. I have a lot of testers. I never, I mean, I don't know why you would want it to be. I'm curious to know, though, why we would want it to be smaller, because don't you want people to play and see the play button as much as possible? I am curious, though. So if you end up being a customer, send in a suggestion and let me know why you would want that. It's definitely something I'll consider.
Cool. All right. Some people making fun of you being on the phone.
Sorry, you know, it's kind of fun. The lady, they almost didn't give me the appointment again. I called up. They're like, "You don't have insurance. How are you going to pay?" I'm like, "I'm going to pay." You must have heard me say credit card. That's why you thought. I was like, "I'm going to pay with a credit card." I was like, "You want Visa, MasterCard, or Discover? Just give me the damn appointment already."
You know, and not to get too far off subject here, but I had to go to the allergist, and I was in the same boat. They actually gave me a price that was a third what they would have charged the insurer. So you might get something good out of it too. So
that's actually what I'm going for. I'm going to see an ear, nose, and throat specialist, because I have something that I'm allergic to. I keep getting congested. I'm like, I need relief here, please. You know?
No doubt, right? To serving. They're out there to serve, but not unless you got some crazy insurance. All right. Let's see. John says he bought based on Ray's recommendation. Thank you. And we'll be working on the coaching. I want to be able to add videos to clients' websites. Would I be able to add the videos code to their sites, or would I still need to use YouTube?
No, you put the videos code on their site, right?
Yeah. You'll get the code just like you would get a YouTube code, and you just have to put it on the site. So whether, you know, whatever site that is. And again, by the way, if it's WordPress, you're going to go into the WordPress page. You're going to go to what do they call it? The
visual.
The visual.
The visual and text. There's visual and text.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're in text mode, not visual mode.
Yeah. So that's that one on the right-hand side. It'll say text mode or text. You go in there, you paste it in, and then when you preview the page, although I guess with WordPress 5, it might be a little different now. That tells you how far behind I am. I haven't used WordPress literally since they came out with the new version. I haven't used it yet. So, but you go to the text.
I hear most people that are buying the new version are actually getting this plugin to go back to the old editor, because everybody hates the new editor.
That's funny. So yeah, you just paste that in there and it'll show up. And then of course, just preview the WordPress page. If you don't like where it's at, you kind of, you know, go back in and move it around to where you need it. But, and of course, if you're using something like Divi, which by the way, if you're using WordPress, check out Divi. It'll change your life when it comes to WordPress. You can just put in your HTML code right in there and it'll work. I use Convertri. So I just choose HTML, put a little HTML block, put in the code, and then it's just like a video player. I can drag the video player around just like you would with anything else. So it's very, very easy to do. Arlene says, Brett didn't finish saying what you would typically use the slides for. Yes. Yeah, there was something.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, typically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use the slides for some type of call to action or some type of selling. So, for example, I use it when I'm doing an affiliate promo, and I'll usually talk about the product that I'm going to promote, and then halfway through, because halfway through, a lot of people, a percentage of people are ready to buy halfway through.
Yep.
So you got half the people usually by halfway, halfway through a product review or an interview, half of them are ready to buy. The other half are still on the fence. So what I'll do is halfway through, I'll have the slide come down and it'll say, want it now, can't wait, here's the button. Or they can skip and continue on with the video. I do that a lot.
Yeah, and that's something that really should be mentioned too, is that you choose when that shows up. So if you've got a video where 2 minutes and 15 seconds in is when you go, hey, you should buy this right now, well, then you can make that pop up right then. And that way, as you're saying that, boop, there's the button. And if they're not ready, they can continue on with the video. So that's what's really cool about that is you can kind of hit it right when you need to, which is really, really nice. Let's see, John, could we upload the video with the call to action overlays onto YouTube, and would they work there? No, they would not. YouTube would still just be YouTube itself. So you'd be kind of stuck with YouTube cards. And if you know my little ad trick, you can do the little ad trick, and that'll help with that. Unfortunately, YouTube used to have that really, really awesome, what do they call it? The clickable annotations, and they got rid of them because they didn't work well on mobile. And rather than fix that, they just changed to cards, which cards are, well, they exist. Yes, they're okay. Can we say no to the Pro version and still access the Enterprise version?
No, the Enterprise version is set with the understanding that you picked up the Pro version.
Okay. Let's see. Mark. Mark says we should be able to use our own play button. It's ugly. Okay. That's your choice, I guess. I don't see it as being ugly, but let's see. And one thing I did want to go back and show, because we kind of touched on it twice now, but didn't show it, is the hosted video page that's created. Now this, again, if you remember on the edit area, we were able to put in a description and put in a link to a button. Well, this is where it's going to show up. So if we click this link here, you'll see it creates its own page here. And on here, you'll see that little comment that I created, or the description that I created is right here. Very short, but it's there. You've also got a learn more button. That's the button that'll click over to the page. And then they've got more videos down here. And you've got a comments area using the Facebook comments plugin. And they've also got a share button for Twitter and Facebook. So you get your own YouTube-like page that you can use to host your stuff as well. So that's a nice little extra that's in there that, we kind of touched on, but we hadn't really mentioned too much about. Anything you want to say about the page?
Oh yeah, only that if you have the Pro version, like I don't believe you have your branding changed, but if you have the Pro version, you can actually change all your pages to your own branding as well.
Right. Yes. So I have not done that because I haven't actually used a page yet. I've created the pages just to create them, but I haven't used them. And again, all the stuff still works. So this will still click over to watch the official demo. This button here will click over to the page. In fact, if we click on it, you'll see that it opens up the other page. If my internet has enough bandwidth to actually open another page, there we go. And so you can see there's the real page there. Nice and easy. Okay. And let's see. Arlene says she said no to the Pro and was still offered the Enterprise.
Well, if she picked it up and she wants, I can refund her. I don't know what this.
All right.
Got over on me.
So there you go. And by the way, we said we talked about the slides and how that's the time when you say, it's available. Well, we're going to pop up our own little thing here. And if you haven't picked up Viddies yet, I'm going to pop up boop, there it is. You should see the offer on there now. I've got it set. It says 2 days and 9 hours. I don't know if that's actually accurate because I set that before we ever started the webinar. So it's probably more like 8 hours now, but you've got 2 days and 8 hours or so to pick it up before the price changes and you won't be able to get it anymore. So feel free to check that out. And by the way, I should mention, I know most of you guys that are on here, you've already seen it, but I should probably show you. Now, let me make sure I got the right link here because I forgot what it is because I was being sneaky at the beginning and not giving you the name of the product. And so the page that I created doesn't have the name, Viddies, on it, but I can't remember what I called the page. So I'll have to look it up myself here. So I know it's at raythevideoguy.com. And see, I can't remember what I called it now. Isn't that awful? No, it's not that. Instead of just putting /Viddies, because we didn't know I wasn't revealing what the program was yet, I gave something clever of a name, and now I don't remember the clever name that I gave, so I got to look it up here. Give me 1 second. Can't remember what clever title I used for it. Let's see. It was embedded video. That's what it was. Embedded video. That's going to be the bonus page, which I'm sure most of you have probably already seen, but I wanted to share that with you because, of course, there's the link to join the webinar. We gave them a nice little demo, Brett. I showed off why the YouTube player is a problem with the actual YouTube player. And we got the information here. And then down here, we've got some great bonuses. And these bonuses here, as I said, are great softwares provided by Brett. And then down here, I've provided a couple of things as well. 30 offline lead videos. So everything from daycare centers to photo studios. And just so you understand these bonuses here, these are not the videos that you would sell to the daycare center. These are the videos that you would use to sell your services to the daycare center. So this is a daycare center video that you would put out to the daycare centers so that they would buy your services. And then, of course, if you've got Instant Spokesperson, you can use the sales videos for the client to get their clients. But this is for you to get these businesses here. So these are sales videos of your products, specifically dealing with these particular topics here, all 30 of them. And then Video Marketing Made Easy, which is a great video marketing course that we've had for quite a while. You'll really love that. You can see it's got 4 sections and 20 videos for you to go through, and all of that's there. And then, of course, we've got up here Brett's beautiful softwares. Now, Brett, something you said earlier when somebody asked, is this going to be around 2, 3, 5 years from now? This is not just a bunch of bonuses. This is a testament that you will still be around in 2, 3, or 5 years, because I know Profit Canvas. How old is Profit Canvas now?
Profit Canvas came out in the beginning of 2015. It started development at the end of 2014. It was released in 2015.
5 years ago now. So this has been around for 4 or 5 years. A beautiful drag and drop page creator that I don't know how many copies you sold of this at the beginning and everything. I know you were kind of new at the time. People didn't know you nearly as well, but I got my hands on it and thought it was absolutely fantastic. And I didn't get my hands on it until like 2 years after you'd released it. And I'm like, why have I never heard of this one? Because it is a very good program, very easy to use. It's actually very similar to the slides area that we showed you earlier in this software. It works in a very similar way in that you just kind of drag and drop the stuff in there. Instant Video Site, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a WordPress plugin. So it's a WordPress plugin that you basically pulls videos and content from YouTube, free content. It's for having a quick site. Video Takeover has a lot of timers. Are you there? Yeah, it has a lot of timers on it, a lot of video overlay products on it. Incidentally, if you look at the sales page, that countdown timer is Video Takeover. That's exactly what that is. Review Wizard. It teaches people, gives them the tools and the training on how to do product reviews like I do on my blog. I make 6 figures a year just reviewing other people's products. That explains how to do that. Brett Circle is my training. Slide Capture is a WordPress plugin. Affiliate Tracks is a really cool thing. Anybody doing affiliate promos using JVZoo? Affiliate Tracks is where it's at. I mean, Affiliate Tracks has not only really cool statistics and tracking, but it's got a very cool feature. It allows you to build your email list when somebody buys a product from you as an affiliate. So like if you buy from Ray right now and he's using Affiliate Tracks, he can actually get your email list and follow up with you and stuff. It's great.
And I do use Affiliate Tracks. So one of the things that I really use it for is I like to go in there, I look at the list of people and I say, all right, you know what, who's bought the most stuff from me? And I click on the look and I'm like, oh, so-and-so's bought $2,000 worth of stuff this past year. And you know what I do? I contact that person and I say, hey, here's a free gift I want to give you for being a top customer. And so I do things like that all the time with it. It also helps me to find the refunders. And 2 things that I do with most of the refunders, although I have to admit I've gotten a little lazy on it, is I go out and I contact the people who refunded a product and I ask them, I say, hey, I saw that you refunded such and such product. Can you give me more information? Because I want to make sure that there's not something wrong with the product that I should know about. And of course, if I see somebody's bought 5 products and refunded 5 products all in the last week, well, then I know to, kick them to the curb because they're obviously trying to just steal software and using me to do it. So it's a great program for that. Bounce Baby. Now, this is one I don't know a lot about.
That's an on-exit an on exit software for people that bounce away. Bounce Baby, Content Lock, and Link Master. All three of those are WordPress plugins for adding features to your site, like link cloaking, locking content on your site, and also capturing people that try to bounce away.
Nice. And link cloaking, very, very powerful thing right now that you need, because Facebook, most people share their links on Facebook, and Facebook blocks a lot of links that you share now. But if you cloak them well, you can get away with it sometimes. So it's a big help there. So that's, as it says here, $1,157 of real world value. And I know some people roll their eyes when they hear that kind of thing, but you got to think about this. It really is that much value in these, because you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of software.
Do you want to know where that came from, Ray? That, and I know people see that like, oh, $1,000 in value. Yeah, right. You want to know where that came from? I sold, and many of them I still sell, every one of those products. So what we did was we added all the prices up, and that's what it came to.
That's exactly it. And I always feel dumb sometimes, because I'll give away, like, for instance, a bunch of instant spokesperson videos that we're selling for $47 a piece on the street, as I say, and I'm like, well, we're giving away 10 of them. That's $470. No one's going to believe that's $470, but it really is. It really is on the street, $470 worth of value. And if I do, gosh, if it's a video player or a video editing program, and I give away, stock videos and things like that, sometimes I add it up and I'm like, this is like $3,000 worth of street value stuff. No one's going to believe that, but it really is, because, you guys as members, as insider circle members, and people that work with me all the time and past customers, you often don't see those things at street prices, because you see the deals that I put out, but there's street prices to all of these things that are a lot higher than what we often sell them to you guys at, just because we're giving you guys special deals. So yeah, $1,100 in value. I mean, you think about that. That's, for 10, 11 pieces of software, that's probably about right. So that's a really good deal there. And this one here, I know this one usually sells for, it's 3 volumes, because it's 10, 10, 10. And I think those sell for like $47 a piece normally. So we're talking about $150 in value almost there. And this one sells for $79. So you're getting quite a bit of stuff out there. That's, $1,300 worth of content, $1,350, somewhere around there. So well worth it if you want to jump on this. You're going to get all of these different things. I mean, heck, this will take you 6 months to go through all this software and use it. So you'll really appreciate it. And like I said, Video Takeover, I use. Affiliate Tracks, I use. Linkmaster, I don't use, but I use a very similar software. So I know that that's a very valuable one. And, all these other ones, like I said, Profit Canvas is a great software as well. The Review Wizard, I liked that. That was a very good one. That one, if you want to review software and you want to be able to give those reviews and have all that stuff in there, that's really cool stuff. So, all right, let's go back to questions here. Make sure we didn't miss any before we let everybody go, because we're over an hour. Hard to believe. All right. So, Arlene, please explain what you wrote in the green part above the list of bonuses. Oh, as in the Brett part here, I think this is what you're talking about here. It says limited time bonuses. It says you get all of these bonuses with a free agency reseller license upgrade. So that's just what that says there. And down here, it's not green. So
I think she's talking about the agency reseller license upgrade. It would be very difficult for me to explain how my agency works. It would actually take 30 minutes at least. But let me just say this. If you can copy and paste some code from JVZoo to your system, you can actually sell all those products with the sales pages, sales videos,
gotcha.
Everything done for you. Yes.
That is my reseller, right? So yes. So what? Yeah. In other words, you're getting these softwares, but you also have the ability to resell it to somebody else. So literally, you buy $37 and you turn around and sell one copy of Profit Canvas for $37. You just got your product for free. So that's pretty good.
And everything else for free too.
And I forgot that was there. So let's see, Mark. What does the enterprise version entail? Do you want to kind of explain the enterprise version again, just so people kind of understand that?
Yeah, so it allows you to host unlimited videos, which is great for anybody that's working for offline clients or has a lot of videos. And it also puts your videos on the Amazon Content Delivery Network. So that way they play really fast and much better for everybody, regardless of where they are in the world. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is two very, very important things. The better content delivery network, which is important, because if you have a video here, you don't want there to be any lag. You don't want there to be a 1 second, even a 1 second lag in it. You want it to play smoothly no matter where everybody is. And also, if you're a serious video marketer or working with offline clients, you're going to want to put a lot of videos in your account probably. So the unlimited videos is definitely going to be something you're going to want as well.
Sean says, why would you not want the pro version? I would agree. And to be honest with you, almost everybody's upgraded to the pro version. Only a few people. I did have one person who said, he says, I love this player. I don't have the money to upgrade right now. And I'm okay with the front end player. So there are people where that's perfectly fine and it's usable and you can do whatever you want to do with that. But yeah, most people have opted for the pro because it does add those extra features in there that can, it just makes the video player a little bit better and gives you some extra marketing tools in there. But if you don't have the capital or if you don't think you'd use them, then the front end player is fine for you. This is one of those things where you're not, I get it so many times. People say, well, I just want to make sure that, that I'm not going to buy something and then it's completely unusable without the upgrades. And this is not one of those times. In fact, I very rarely run into those times where that actually is the case, but I know it has happened. But your front end version is going to be perfectly usable for you. The back end adds more to that, but there's nothing wrong with the front end version. There's nothing, you can do exactly what you need to do with the front end version. That upsell just adds new features that allow you to do more than what you originally bought it for. And that's what makes the difference.
You know what the upsells remind me of? Honestly, they remind me of like when I bought my car. Because like last year I turned 40 and I had this little midlife crisis and I bought this little sports car, that is completely impractical because like it's got 2 seats and stuff and I've got 3 kids, right? So when I bought the car, right, the dealer asked me, he's like, for another $1,200, Brett, we can get the turbocharger in there. You get an extra 40 horsepower out of it. And the car was great. But I really wanted that turbocharger.
so you can still do 70 down the highway, but you have that power there.
Exactly. So yeah, that's how Viddies is. It's like a sports car. It's a great thing on its own. But if you want to go a little faster, you want to go a little better, you want to have that extra boost when you need it, then you're definitely going to want to think about getting the upgrade.
And again, that gives you the clickable link that you can put into the lower third area of the player. Now, that's not on the video. That's on the player. So when you mouse over, you get that link that you can put and send people to a different place. So that gives you that. It gives you the animated GIF instead of just the autoplay so that you can put that in there. What was the other thing? There's one more thing I think I'm missing there, too, in the pro version.
It gives you the video pages, the branding on the video
yes.
pages. Yes.
Yep. So you get that as well. So that's the stuff that you get on the upsells there. And how is the video speed with the CDN compared to the speed of my videos with Interact Tab or Interact app? I don't know Interact app, so I can't really speak on that, but it's, pardon the French, it's damn fast.
Here's what everybody needs to understand. Here's what everybody needs to understand about the way content delivery works. I'll explain it if you want, Ray. I'll explain the content.
Oh, no, go for it. Yeah,
I'm going to do it in about 30 seconds. Okay, so let's just say I have a server and I'm in Pennsylvania, right? Okay, so my server's in Pennsylvania. I've got a video on it, right? And Ray is over in Australia, and he wants to watch my video because he's interested in my product, right? So he's in Australia. He wants to watch my video. So his computer has to link to the network in Australia. So it has to go to network in Australia. Then it has to go from Australia to Europe, from Europe over to London, from London down to France, from France over to an interchange and to get across the Atlantic Ocean to now get over to New York. From New York, it's got to go down to Virginia. From Virginia, it finally gets back to Pennsylvania, where my server sends the video through the exact same route all the way back to him. Now, when Ray decides he wants to pause the video, that whole thing has to happen again. Then when he wants to play the video, it has to happen all over again. So there's a lot of this long back and forth. What a lot of people don't realize is physical location actually matters in the internet. Because the world is such a big place, it takes time for those signals to go from one end of the world to the other end of the world. So what a content delivery network is exactly what you would think. It's a network. What they do is instead of having one server with one video, there's 100 servers strategically placed all over the world. So that way, no matter where Ray's located, when he says, show me that video, there's a server within 100 miles of them.
Right.
So instead of sending a signal all the way on the other side of the world, he's sending a signal right up the road, which that means your videos always play. But that's why content deliveries are so important. That's why every big site actually uses them.
And you know, just so you understand, when you're on that front end without that, it's still pretty damn fast. And in most cases, and we say most because you never know, but in most cases, it's still going to be pretty much instant. It's just there's more, you know, more possibility that there could be slowdown with that when you're streaming it directly like that. So, is there a way for my clients to see the video stats? Yeah, you can show it to them. I mean, if you're meeting with your clients online, what we do is we do Zoom, and I would just show it to them. I'd show them the actual stats while they're in there. You could always copy it and put it into a document. There's a lot of different things you could do with that so that they could see it. You know, that's pretty easy to do. And I do both, by the way. I go, so when I'm doing stats, for instance, from YouTube, because most of my clients, I'm doing their YouTube stuff. I go in and I literally I screenshot the graphs and I put them into a PDF and upload that PDF into Google Docs. And then when we meet them live, I'll either show it to them live or I'll send them the PDF. So it's nice and easy to do that. All right. Any other questions? We'll call it because we are almost at an hour and a half. So we'll throw out the last questions here. Brett, anything we missed that we should show before people throw in their last questions?
No, I think we've covered most of what people need. I mean, if they have any more questions, I'm more than glad to answer them now.
Yep. And of course, you know, if there is something we missed, which could happen, occasionally could happen, there is a demo both on the bonus page and there's a demo. There's Brett's demo on the bonus page. There's my demo on the bonus page. And it's also on the page itself. We got the question. John asked the question. John Smith, that is. So we're gonna pop this up here because this is something that we actually went through a couple times yesterday. So John asks, he couldn't find the bonuses. Did I miss something? Yes, you did. And a couple people did. So don't feel bad. Right here. See this big button here, access launch bonuses. When you're inside the program, so if you go to my videos, there it is right there. And all you have to do is click on that, and that's going to take you to the bonuses there. Now, if you're missing my bonuses, the two that I talked about, those will be on your JVZoo receipt page. So when you bought and you went to you went to PayPal, and then it brought you back to JVZoo, and it had the little access your product button. There should have been a button there as well. I think it's a green button now, and it says bonuses or something like that. If you didn't get mine, contact me afterwards, and I'll send you the link. No big deal. You will get probably tonight or tomorrow. I will be emailing, because I use Brett's affiliate tracks when we talked about earlier. I will be emailing everybody who bought the front end with more information about the back end and information about the bonuses for anybody who may have missed the bonuses for some reason. So you will get that in an email. That'll probably be tomorrow morning. Actually, no, it'll be tonight because tomorrow I've got something else going out. But you'll get that tonight, an email with that information. But also feel free to just message me on Facebook, and on the actual bonus page, you can chat me right there. You can see the actually you can't because Brett and I are hiding it. But behind my head, you'll see that it says Ray the Video Guy there a little bit. That's actually a Facebook chat. So you can click on that and just ask me for the bonuses, and I will send them over. Now, that doesn't mean that 50 of you who didn't buy, you shouldn't send me a chat asking for the bonuses. You know, buy it first. But in John's case, if you didn't get them from me, just send me a chat, and I'll make sure that you get that. But you should get an email as well. So, all right. Any last? Oh, I can see there is another question hiding up here. Let's see what it is. He said he did get mine. Okay, so if I get 20 other people saying they're John, then I know that John already got it, and you guys are lying to me. So don't lie to me. All right. So with that, I don't see any other questions that have popped in here. So if you're looking to get rid of all those YouTube issues, this is your opportunity to do so. And I know many of you have contacted me and said, how do I fix this YouTube problem? I can't take it. They're putting all this crap on my player, on my page, and my clients are complaining. And I've gotten a lot of those messages and a lot of those emails. So if that's something that is bothering you or your clients, then this is the opportunity to be able to get something that will help out very quickly, very easily. And like I always say, you know, people say, well, how hard is it? Is it techie? If I can do it, anybody can do it. All you have to do is copy the code and paste it in there just like you did on YouTube, but you'll get a much better player without all that garbage in there. So, Brett, any last words?
No, just thanks for having me, Ray, and I had a great time hanging out with you guys.
All right, and let's go back to our pretty faces here. So with that, if you guys have questions after the webinar, then of course use that chat feature that I showed you on the bonus page. That's the easiest way to get me. I have solved a lot of my email issues. So I used to tell people, don't email me, send me a Facebook message. But now you can send me an email and I actually get them and I actually respond to them now. So it's a lot easier. You can do that. You can send me emails now at ray@raythevideoguy.com. But of course, the Facebook Messenger, that's going to be the instant response because I usually get those, I won't say 24 hours a day, but you'd be surprised how many times at 3 a.m. my phone is buzzed and I've responded to somebody at 3 a.m. So messaging me is nice and easy. If you got questions, ask. We'll be glad to answer them. If I don't know them, guess what? Wait, hold on. My cameras are reversed. There we go. So if I don't know the answer, then this guy over here does, and I know how to get them. So ask away. We'll be glad to help in any way that we can. And of course, as we like to say at the end of all these different webinars that we do, everything we talked about here works, but only if you do. And that means that you need to take action, pick up videos, put it on your website, and impress your clients. One little story before we leave. We actually had a meeting Friday. No, I'm sorry. It was actually Wednesday. I was actually in the snowstorm in Utah at the funeral. Well, not at the funeral at the time, but that I got onto a meeting with some of our lawyer clients and we were talking. And that was one of the things specifically brought up is, hey, we've really got to get more of these videos onto the webpage, but how do we do it without, this YouTube issue? And I said, well, guess what? I've got something brand new that's going to solve that problem. So there you go. And that was videos. So if you have that problem, and you do, even if you don't know it, you do have that problem, be sure to check out videos. So Brett, thank you for joining us. Everybody, thank you for coming in and listening to us babble on for the last hour and a half. We do appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who's made a purchase of videos. We hope that you love it. And again, any questions, let us know. And we'll see you guys on whatever the next webinar is. I don't know what it'll be, but who knows? We do these kind of impromptu, by the way, Brett. We kind of decide, hey, you know what? This is a good product. Let's do a Q&A. So just a lot of fun to do.
Cool thing.
And people seem to like it. All right. Well, have a great one, everybody. And we'll see you on whatever the next webinar is.
Have a great evening.